So the Data Privacy Act, okay, so we have here the basic concept muna, at ito ay the basis in enacting the Data Privacy Act of 2012 under our Constitution, 1987 Constitution, Article 3, which is the Bill of Rights, okay, Section 3. It provides that the privacy of communication and correspondence shall be inviolable. So pag sinabi nating inviolable, eh, hindi pwedeng ma-impair, no? Yan. So walang pwedeng sira, maka-break dito sa privacy of communication and correspondence. So yung mga napag-usapan, okay, in private communication, conversation, yung either through phone, okay, chat, text, or yung sulat, okay, ay kung hindi ito purposely for public consumption, hindi pwedeng gamitin, okay, at your expense, no? Kumbaga ikaw yung kumbaga magkakaroon ng negative impact on your part, because again it is enshrined in our Bill of Rights that there is privacy of such communication and correspondence. However, there's an exception to the rule, except upon lawful order of the court. Okay? So say for example, kung ito po ay subject sa case against a person, then there is an order of the court na i-determine yung veracity niyan, then pwede po nilang i-admit. Okay? When public safety or order requires, otherwise as prescribed by the law. Any evidence obtained in violation of this or preceding section shall be inadmissible for any purpose in any proceeding. Dito, class, makikita natin na meron yung concept ng tinatawag natin na fruit of the poisonous tree. Okay? So if there is violation dito sa constitutional right natin as to privacy at ginamit siya, okay, as an evidence, eh, hindi po yan pwedeng i-admit sa korte because it was taken, okay, from unlawful activity. Say for example, okay, if you are aware of the wiretapping, no? Meron tayong anti-wiretapping law, okay, na kung saan ay hindi pwedeng gamitin, no, yung recording ng conversation, okay, if such wiretapping, okay, ay wala pong lawful order ng korte. So pag ginamit yan, ay hindi po pwedeng i-admit, okay, doon sa ating court as an evidence because, okay, this is a case of fruit of the poisonous tree. Again, this will violate the privacy of communication and correspondence. Kaya dahil dito sa Article 3, Bill of Rights, no, right to privacy, okay, nagkaroon tayo, class, ng tinatawag natin na Data Privacy Act as the law, okay, that would protect, no, individual personal information and information and communication system in government and private sector, creating for this purpose a National Privacy Commission. So in order for us to be protected doon sa ating privacy, okay, bumuo ng balik muna natin, plus, ng NPC or the National Privacy Commission under this RA 10173 or also known as Data Privacy Act of 2012, which will be the venue, okay, kung magpa-file ka ng complaint sa violation ng privacy mo. Okay? And you have to determine kung ano yung mga rights mo as a data subject. Ang tawag po sa atin, okay, kung tayo po ay nakipag-transact, no, at nag-input tayo ng mga personal information natin, ang tawag po sa atin ay data subject. Ngayon, kung merong sa tingin mo, feeling mo ay may violation sa rights mo, okay, as a data subject, then you can file a complaint. Saan? Sa NPC. Okay, ito po yun, no? The so-called National Privacy Commission. Okay? So again, in this law, RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012, there is a declaration of state policy. Ano po ba ang prinoprotect dito sa batas na ito? Ano yung polisiya ng state natin or estado? This is to protect the fundamental human right of privacy, okay, of communication, while ensuring the free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. Ibig sabihin, okay, the law would like to strengthen yung nasa Bill of Rights. Okay? Yung Section 3, Article 3 ng ating 1987 Constitution to protect the fundamental human right of privacy, of communication. Yan. The state recognizes the vital role of information and communication technology in nation building. So dati, okay, nung wala pa masyadong internet, no? Syempre, yung communication through paper. Okay, so ipapa-receive mo, okay, sulatan, ayan. And of course, face-to-face processing. Ngayon, nowadays class, ay pwede na, no, na online. Actually, doon sa E-commerce Act, if you are aware of the E-commerce Act, the signature, okay, known as electronic signature is admissible as valid, okay, and it has lawful effect. So, hindi na kailangang physically na pumirma ka, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga dapat nating kumbaga i-protect dito sa batas na ito. At one of the policy is, again, with regard to right of privacy and communication. So dahil kino-consider ng state yung role ng information and communication technology, IT, information system, sa nation building and its inherent obligation to ensure the personal information in information communication system, the government and private sector are secured and protected. So ibig sabihin, para tayo na data subject, okay, ay mag-adhere tayo at magtiwala tayo sa information system. Kumbaga yung mga mag-i-input tayo ng data online, say for example, kung mag-open ka ng bank account sa Land Bank, okay, sa BPI, DBP, or any other government or private sector na platform, say for example, sa PRC, mag-a-apply ka ng para mag-exam ka for board examination online, or kung ikaw magre-request ng card, no, yung ID mo, okay, pwedeng online, and then yung payment is also online. Pwede na rin po yan because again, it is the state policy to recognize, okay, and consider the role of information communication system. Pero paano siya may-utilize kung hindi naman magtitiwala yung mga data subject? At paano mo ma-entice yung mga data subject who are us, okay, na mag-input ng ating personal information kung wala namang confidence on our part na mag-encode tayo, no? Kaya sinasabi ng batas, huwag ka mag-alala, okay, due to this Bill of Rights and of course yung Data Privacy Act, secured and protected yung information mo. Okay? Otherwise, kapag hindi po ito na-secure ng data controller, meron silang corresponding penalty. Yan. Or pwede kang mag-file ng complaint sa National Privacy Commission. Now, we have to familiarize ourselves sa terms, no, nung batas as well as yung rights mo, rights ko, natin as a data subject. Okay? So under Section 3 of the said law, okay, commission, as we have mentioned a while ago, shall refer to NPC. Okay, ito po yun, National Privacy Commission. Okay? And this is the body that will implement, no, itong tinatawag natin na Data Privacy Act. Consent of the data subject refers to any freely given specific informed indication of will. So hindi po ba, no, kapag makikipag-enter tayo into a contract, you have learned this in your law on obligation and contract, there must be consent, di ba? COC. So we have consent, object, and consideration in order for us to enter into a contract. Ngayon, yung consent na yan, it must be freely given, voluntarily given, and intelligently given, VFI. Diba? Para walang vitiation, walang problema sa consent. So ganun din po dito sa Data Privacy Act. Consent of the data subject, at pag sinabi nating data subject, okay, it refers to individual whose personal information is processed. So tayo po yan. So sa information system, ang tawag po sa atin, hindi po natural persons, no, data subject ang tawag sa atin. Okay? So we have to give our consent. Kaya meron po doon na i-click mo, di ba? May terms and condition, may i-click ka doon, and then pwede po na mag-proceed ka, okay? O kaya naman pwedeng magbibigyan ka ng code or PIN, okay, to verify. O kaya naman pwede rin po na pumirma ka, di ba? You signify your consent by signing, ayan, electronically. Okay? Consent shall be evidenced by written, electronic, or recorded means. Yung iba class, di ba, kapag ikaw ay nag-re-register, I tried this sa PayMaya, no? Maya. I'm not in any way related sa PayMaya class, no? Pero isa sa mga requirement nila is evidence of kumbaga buhay ka, no? Pipicturean mo yung sarili mo, ire-record mo, okay? O kaya naman, isa rin po dyan ay yung mag-submit ka ng government-issued ID. So ito, it signifies consent on your part. Okay? Na ikaw as data subject, okay sa'yo na i-process nila yung information. Direct marketing refers to communication by whatever means of any advertising or marketing material which is directed to a particular individual. So yung mag-i-inform po about the products, etc. Filing system, okay, this refers to any act of information relating to natural or juridical person to extent that although the information is not processed by equipment operating automatically in response to instruction given for that purpose, the set is structured either by reference to individual or by reference to criteria relating to individual. See, for example, class ng filing system ay if you are aware of the BIR EFPS, okay? EFPS, example lang po natin, no? Electronic Filing and Payment System of the BIR. So yung system na yan, as a taxpayer, okay? Meron kang form na finilapan tapos naka-record na yan sa system ng BIR. So meron kang tax identification number. So i-encode mo yan sa EFPS. And then meron kang username and password. Tapos ma-access mo na lahat ng mga available na BIR forms. So that's one of the filing system. So kung magpa-file ka ng VAT, say for example, form 2550M, okay, monthly VAT or quarterly VAT 2550Q. Okay? So pag clinic mo yon, nandun na yung mga data pertaining to your TIN, okay, pertaining to your personal information such as name mo, address mo, contact number, etc. Because nag-consent ka nung nag-encode ka ng mga information na necessary para makapasok pa sa system, and you can utilize now the filing system. Information and communication system, okay? This refers to system for generating, sending, receiving, or storing or otherwise processing electronic data message. Personal information, bakit kailangan nating maging familiar, no, sa mga terms na ito? Because this law class ay very technical. No? Imagine tayo as natural person, ang tawag sa atin ay data subject. Di ba? So data subject. So ngayon, ano pa yung makailangan nating tignan bago tayo pumunta, no, doon sa mga rights natin as data subject? Siyempre, mas interested tayo kung ano yung mga protected rights dito sa DPA, Data Privacy Act, para aware tayo, no, na sa totoong buhay, ito yung mga pwede nating gawin, okay, as for us to protect our rights. Yan, sa privacy. So personal information refers to any information whether recorded in material form or not, from which the identity of individual is apparent. Say for example, full name, address, okay, contact number, single ka pa ba, married na, ayan. So yun yung mga personal information, mga personal circumstance. Okay? Wherein when put together with other information would directly and certainly identify an individual. Say for example, class, kung tayo po ay re-reserve na ating plane ticket sa PAL o kaya naman Cebu Pacific or any other airline companies, magre-register tayo online, naka-record na yung information natin doon. Even our email address, pwede kang mag-open ng kanilang platform, at mag-book ng tinatawag nating plane ticket, by simply utilizing yung platform nila, no? Yung gagamitin natin yung username, password natin, and then proceed payment. Tapos nakalink na rin po siya doon sa either bank account, credit card man yan, or debit card, etc. Okay? So, aside from this, we have to know kung sino yung magkocontrol ng information natin. At ang tawag po dyan ay personal information controller. Okay? This refers to person or organization who controls the collection, a holding of or use of personal information, including a person or organization who instructs another person or organization to hold, process, use, transfer, or disclose personal information on his or her behalf. Say, for example, kung log-in ka sa Facebook, so Facebook ang personal information controller natin. Sa Google, Gmail, Google, etc. A person, or organization who performs such functions as instructed by another person or organization, that excluded po siya as a controller, no? And an individual who collects, holds, process, or use personal information in connection with individual, personal, family, or household affairs. Yeah. And then we have here processor. So you have controller, you have processor, a natural or juridical person qualified to act as such under this act to whom a personal information controller may outsource the processing of personal data. So kung hindi na kaya pong i-process ng controller, pwede po siyang magpatulong sa iba. So pwede pong processor. And then processing refers to the operation or any set of operation performed upon personal information, including but not limited to collection, recording, organization, storing, or storage, updating, and modification. Say for example, no? Tayo po ay mag-open ng bank account sa BDO. Okay, di ba may form tayong pipilapan. Yung form na yun na pinilapan natin, pinirmahan natin, ipapasok po nila sa system nila. Even yung specimen signature natin na 3. Diba? If you can still recall, pipirma ka ng 3 para meron po sila sa system, ma-process nila, ma-store nila yung information na yan. Kaya kapag ikaw po ay magwi-withdraw at may withdrawal slip na pipirmahan, at of course yung ATM card o kaya naman passbook ay hindi mo dala pero inaalaw kang mag-withdraw, basta't makita nila na yung pirma mo doon at saka yung nasa system na sinabit mo dati ay nagmamatch. Okay, so yan po ang magiging effect kasi pre-process na yung information mo. At ano yung mga information na kailangan nating tignan? We have here privileged information and sensitive personal information. These are protected. Okay? So, sa privileged information, this refers to any and all forms of data which under the rules of court and other pertinent law constitutes privileged communication. Ang example po nito, class, ay lawyer-client communication or yung information gathered by an attorney or lawyer sa pag-handle ng case ng client niya, no? Hindi pwedeng mag-disclose because these are privileged information. Okay? See, for example, mga medical records po ng pasyente sa hospital, hindi pwedeng i-disclose yung doctor-patient communication Lalo na si, for example, class ay yung nagpapa-therapy, di ba? Yung under psychiatric care, di ba? So bawal pong i-disclose yung mga yan because these are privileged information. Okay? Sensitive personal information refers to personal information such as about race, ethnic origin, marital status. So kung ikaw ba single or married, sensitive. Age, ayan, very sensitive yan. Ilang taong ka na? Ayan. Color, religious, philosophical, or political affiliations. About individual's health, education, genetic, or sexual life of person. To any proceedings for any offense committed to alleged to have been committed by such person. Okay? The disposal of such proceeding or the sentence of the court in any such proceeding. Also, okay, sensitive information, okay, such as issued by government agencies peculiar to an individual which includes but not limited to social security number. Kaya hindi po pwedeng ma-access at makita po no sa Google yung SSS ng isang tao. TIN. Okay? Hindi rin po pwede. Okay? Kasi nga these are sensitive personal information. Okay? Previous or current health records, licenses. So tayo po no, CPA license. Okay? Ikaw lang yung may alam doon at saka syempre yung PRC. Okay? So hindi pwedeng i-inquire ng ibang tao no, yung license mo doon unless there is an order from an authority. Okay? Or its denial, suspensions, or revocation and tax return. Yan. So these are sensitive personal information. Hindi mo pwedeng tignan ang na-file na tax return ng isang individual. Si, for example, gusto kong malaman kung gaano kayaman si Juan de la Cruz. Pwede ko bang tignan ang 1701 return niya, form number 1701, or quarterly 1701Q, or yung company na ex-company 1702Q. Hindi po pwede because these are sensitive personal information. Okay? And specifically established by an executive order or an act of Congress to be kept classified. Say for example, mga kapatid, no, in relation to bank secrecy law, okay? Bank secrecy law, RA 1405, para tayo ay makapagbigay no, ng confidence natin sa banking system at magtiwala tayo na hindi natin i-hoard yung pera natin sa vault or sa bahay lang, kung hindi i-deposit natin sa bangko para ito po ay gamitin pagpapalago sa economy. Siyempre yung bangko, yung mga dineposit natin, ipapautang niya yan sa mga willing mag-business or utang. Car loan, home loan, business, etc. So, iikot yung pera. So, para ikaw ay secured, okay, dito sa bank secrecy law, maproprotect din yung private, okay, sensitive information mo kasi bawal din silang mag-disclose. Okay, yung mga bank, okay, mga banking institution, bawal silang mag-disclose kahit sino, okay, ng information mo pertaining to your account. Full name mo, okay, address mo, bank account balance mo, account number mo, etc. Okay, so bawal po. As a rule, under bank secrecy, this is again to protect your privacy. And syempre, protect din sa buhay mo. Kasi imagine, kung yung kapitbahay natin, pwedeng malaman kung gaano tayo kayaman or kahirap, di ba? Ano ang mangyayari sa atin? Okay? So pwedeng at risk ang buhay mo kung malalaman na lang ng kahit sino kung magkano laman ng bank account mo. Okay? So these are sensitive personal information which is in relation to data privacy din. Same with AMLA, no? You have learned in AMLA, the Anti-Money Laundering Act, okay, na may mga information po na kailangang i-report ng covered person sa AMLA. Okay? So yan po ay separate topic to discuss na, but to give you an idea, class, hindi dahil may Data Privacy Act, okay, ay totally wala ng means, no? At walang exception doon sa privacy or right to privacy natin. Okay? Because there are other laws intertwined or connected dito such as say for example AMLA. Okay? So example lang po, what if lang na ikaw po ay nag-deposit ng more than 500,000 on a single instance. Wala kang problema kung legitimate yung deposit mo, 'di ba? But the bank, okay, or the financial institution is required or mandated under AMLA to report this kind of transaction, whether it's suspicious transaction or kung sinasabi na natin reportable transaction. Okay? At may information yung AMLA. Ang tanong, gagamitin ba o hindi? Depende na lang kung suspected ka for violation of anti-money laundering. Pero kung legitimate, walang problema. Still, kung titignan natin, somewhat para siyang na-violate yung privacy mo, okay, with regard to information pertaining sa deposit mo, but that is lawful because there is a law mandating the said banking institution to report, okay, sa AMLAC, sa council. So lawful pa rin po yun. Scope, okay? This act applies to the processing of all types of personal information and to any natural or juridical persons involved in personal information processing, including those personal information controllers and processors. So yung controller, again, siya po yung nag-gather ng data kapag hindi na niya kayang i-absorb yung burden ng pag-control niyan, okay, pwede po siyang mag-outsource sa processors. Who although not found or established in the Philippines, okay, use equipment that are located in the Philippines. So kahit na taga-ibang bansa yung processor, no, or yung controller, kasi nga online nga naman yan, but the equipment ay located sa Philippines, covered po siya ng Data Privacy Act. Or those who maintain an office, okay, branch or agency in the Philippines, yung mga ROHQ, di ba? See, for example, class, yung mga bank na nasa ibang bansa yung kanilang registration, see, for example, Citibank, di ba? Pero meron silang head office naman, meron silang office sa BGC, okay? Para dito sa operations nila sa Pilipinas, so pwede pa rin. Okay? Covered pa rin po sila kasi nga nandito yung branch nila. Subject to the immediately succeeding paragraph, provided that the requirements of Section 5 of the said law is complied with. Now, ano po yung hindi mag-a-apply yung batas? Okay? The act does not apply to the following. Okay? First, information about any individual who is or was an officer of a government, employee or officer of the government. So, take note class na kapag related sa government, okay, yung information, syempre, isipin natin public, di ba? Public info kapag government eh. Kaya nga merong full disclosure or FOI law, Freedom of Information, di ba? So, kung ikaw ay currently or previously employed sa government as an officer or official, okay, yung salary grade mo, kung anong SG, okay, ano ang position mo, kung ikaw ba ay undersecretary, secretary, okay, commissioner ng BIR, okay, etc. Itong information na ito ay available, okay, sa public. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na na-breach yung right to privacy mo dahil nalaman ng ibang tao na ikaw ay executive secretary ng presidente o kaya naman ikaw ay nagtatrabaho sa BIR's commissioner or an examiner. Okay? So because information about individual who is or was an officer or employee of the government that relates to the position or function of individual, hindi po nag-a-apply dyan ang data privacy. Okay? Including the fact that individual is or was an officer of the government, so siya po ay empleyado ng gobyerno. That title, okay, mayor, ayan, governor, congressman, business address, office or telephone number. Okay? Say for example, pag pumunta ka sa Senate, mga kapatid, no? Recently lang, galing po tayo doon, pero hanggang gate lang tayo. No? Nag-follow up tayo ng resolution na pinasa natin. Gate lang. Tapos nakikita mo doon yung mga pangalan sa gate ng mga senators. Tapos nandun yung mga telephone number nila. So tatawagan mo pa sila. Okay? And then yung staff nilang bababa, okay, para i-receive yung mga communication or letter mo na ipapa-receive sa kanila. Because probably because of the current situation natin na may COVID pa, kaya masyado silang strict or stringent yung kanilang admit ng mga bisita. Yan. So yung telephone number ng office, hindi po yan covered ng DPA. Classification, salary range, responsibility of the position, and the name of the individual or the document prepared by the individual in the course of employment of the government. So yung mga pinasa nilang bill or laws, okay, resolutions, hindi po yan covered ng data privacy. Information about an officer or individual who is or was performing service under contract of the government. Again, connected na naman po sa gobyerno, including the terms of contract and the name of individual, okay, giving in the course of performance of those activities. Say for example, class, kapag siya po ay in-employ as a consultant, di ba? Doon sa local government unit, so may contract of service, yung contract entered into by the executive at saka siya, hindi pwedeng hindi available for public. Ibig sabihin, this is not a breach of the Data Privacy Act. So hindi po covered yan. Information relating to discretionary benefits of financial nature, such as granting of license or permit given by government to an individual, including the name of individual and exact nature of the benefit. So yung mga licenses class, no? Say for example, yung license to operate a cockpit, license to operate lotto outlet, yung mga yan, hindi po yan covered ng data privacy. Okay? Personal information process for journalistic. So yung mga pinublish po, no, journalistic, artistic, literary, and research purposes, these are not covered by data privacy. So kung makikita natin class, ito na kasi ay for public consumption na, di ba? Public nature. So ibig sabihin, ano pa yung kumbaga violation sa privacy kung open naman na for public yung information na sensitive on your part. For example, yung name natin, okay? Sensitive information yan. Kung ito po ay na-publish na ikaw po ay na-appoint sa position ng sa gobyerno, okay? At you are now performing your duties, no, or responsibility as a government official, tapos na-in-use. Okay? So ito, hindi na po yan personal, sensitive personal information that is covered by Data Privacy Act. Yan. Information necessary in order to carry out the functions of public authority, which includes the processing of personal data for the performance of independent central monetary authority and law enforcement and regulatory agency. Pag sinasabi po natin monetary authority, ito po yung sa BSP. As the mother bank, may mga information naman po na kailangan po nilang i-process. Okay, so hindi po yun covered ng DPA. Nothing in this act shall be construed as to have amended RA 1405. Ano po yung 1405? Nabanggit natin kanina, Secrecy of Bank Deposit Act. So hindi po amendment, okay, ng DPA itong hindi niya inamend itong bank secrecy law. So meron pa rin naman po na provision ang DPA, separate po siya dun sa RA 1405. Also, the Foreign Currency Deposit Act. Ano po itong Foreign Currency Deposit Act, which is RA 6426? This law provides that the aim is to entice, no, foreign investors. Okay, so kumbaga kailangan po na may mga investment na pumasok sa Pilipinas, kaya binibigyan ng benefits, no, yung mga deposit na ito. Yan. RA 9510, otherwise known as Credit Information System Act. So ibig sabihin, ang DPA hindi niya inamend ang mga ito. Okay, na batas. Moreover, class, information necessary for banks and other financial institutions under jurisdiction of Independent Central Monetary Authority or BSP with the Republic Act number 9510 and RA 9160, which is again Anti-Money Laundering Act and other applicable laws. So yung mga coverage po ng AMLA, by the way, kapag tayo po ay meron pong waiver sa mga bank secrecy natin, pwede po na yung waiver na yan ay gamitin para mag-inquire and look into information doon sa bank, no? At yung RA 1405 hindi mo magagamit as a basis in prohibiting the inquiry because binigyan mo nga ng waiver. So pag bangko ang pinag-usapan, 1405. Okay? Hindi na po DPA. Yan. Same with AMLA. Kung reportable transaction yan, required po siyang i-report sa council. Yan. Personal information originally collected from residents of foreign jurisdiction in accordance with laws of foreign jurisdiction, including any applicable data privacy law which is being processed in the Philippines. Bawal din po, okay, under the concept of reciprocity or comity in law. Ayan. So ano po yung principles na kailangan natin consider under Section 11? So we have general data privacy principles of transparency, legitimate purpose, and proportionality. Okay? So dito class, i-discuss natin na yung pag-process ng personal information ay allowed naman. Okay? It is allowed, okay? And it should be in compliance with the Data Privacy Act requirement that there should be transparency. So banggitin natin, i-disclose natin kung para saan po yung information na ginagather natin. Bakit ka nagko-collect ng full name? Bakit ka nagko-collect ng contact number? Nagko-collect ng address, okay? Email address, etc. Kasi merong legitimate purpose. Ano yung legitimate purpose? Okay? Etong mga na-collect na ito, okay, ay gagamiting information para sa upcoming, say for example, upcoming webinar, di ba? So dapat may full name kasi kailangan siya para sa certificate, di ba? Address kung kailangan pong either magpadala ng materials or ipapadala yung certificate kung hindi siya virtually. Email address, pwede namang email address imbis na registered mailing address, no? Bakit kailangan din po yung contact number? O baka naman may kailangan inquire or for purposes of easy communication. So, legitimate purpose. Okay, dapat ma-prove natin, maipakita natin na may legitimate purpose. Okay? And proportionality. Kung ano lang yung kailangan for that purpose. Okay? Example, webinar natin ngayon, di ba? Data Privacy Act. So, probably, merong mga Google form na finill-upan tayo. Okay? Nilagay mo dyan full name mo, school, okay? I'm not sure kung ano yung mga information na kinuha, no? Basta mga ganon. Email address, contact number, anong year mo na, okay? Pwede po yun, no? Pero pag nagtanong na po ng bank details mo, di ba? Okay? Anong kinalaman niya dito sa legitimate webinar natin kung may bank details? Okay, credit card details, hindi naman po yata kailangan yun. Okay? So that's not proportionality. O kaya naman name of the spouse, o kaya naman name of the children, okay, etc. Okay? So yung mga importante lang sa legitimate purpose, no? Pero kunyari, ikaw ay magpa-purchase ng plane ticket. Di ba? Plane ticket. O syempre, ano yung mga kailangang information na nasa plane ticket? Okay? So lalagay mo doon. Proportionality. Tapos, pag clinic mo, proceed payment, bakit nagre-request or nagre-require ng i-click mo yung credit card or debit card? Okay? O kaya naman GCash, etc., PayMaya, etc. Kasi pwede po siya proportionality in order to process yung payment. Okay? Siyempre, pag clinic mo yung credit card, o dapat ilagay mo din yung credit card number. Is it required? Okay? Hindi. Pwede kang huwag mag-proceed. Di ba? Kasi meron namang i-click doon eh. Pag ayaw mo, huwag mong ibigay yung consent, hindi mapaprocess. Pero kung kailangan siya doon, okay, because of proportionality and what is the purpose to procure plane ticket? At ano yung transparency? Ini-inform tayo na kailangan po ito para ma-process naman nila yung payment. Okay? Anyway, may control naman. Kapag ikaw ay nag-proceed payment, you will be receiving a one-time PIN. 'Di ba? Aside from yung nasa likod ng card mo na CVC ang tawag doon, no? Okay? Makaka-receive ka ng one-time PIN para secured ka pa rin doon sa procure mo nung tinatawag natin na plane ticket. Okay? So proportionality ang tawag doon. So personal information must be collected for specified and legitimate purposes determined and declared before or as soon as reasonably practicable after collection and later processed in a way compatible with such declared, specified, and legitimate purpose. Okay? So may mga information klase. For example, ikaw ba ay convicted ng crime involving moral turpitude? Okay, teka lang, kailangan po ba yan sa webinar natin? O, hindi na po siya proportionality. Okay? Pero pag ikaw ay nag-a-apply, say for example, ng tawag dito, license, okay, o kaya naman permit, baka kailangan yun. Diba? Baka isa sa mga criteria kung i-issuehan ka nga ng license or permit. Yan. Process fairly and lawfully, accurate, relevant, and where necessary for purposes for which it is to be used. Okay, the processing of personal information kept up to date, inaccurate or incomplete data must be rectified. So ibig sabihin, class, you have the right to rectify or baguhin yung information na yan. So pwede mong balikan, di ba? Lalo na kapag hindi na po up to date yung information, so outdated na, no? Dati ang last name mo ay De La Cruz. Ngayon, kinasal ka na, gusto mo ng palitan. So you have the right to rectify or update. Supplemented, destroyed, or their further processing rectified. Pwede po na i-delete or i-destroy yung information or personal data gathered. See, for example, kung sa email, di ba? O kaya naman dati sa Friendster, no? Friendster, if you are aware of Friendster, no? Pwede po na i-delete yon. Okay? At recently, nabalitaan ko lang na meron niya, I'm not sure kung scam siya or ano. Okay, parang nagbabalik daw yung Friendster. Pero according sa news, wala pa namang official daw na pagbabalik ng Friendster. Kaya pag kayo ay nakatanggap ng message na ganun, click mo lang ito, you can now tawag nito, browse sa Friendster. Mag-ingat po dyan. Phishing po ang tawag doon. Okay, phishing. So baka makuha yung mga information mo. Adequate and not excessive in relation to the purposes for which they are collected and processed. So adequate, no, yung kung ano lang yung tama or sapat lang para doon sa purpose, okay? Not excessive. Okay? Kung ang ina-applyan natin ay home loan or bank loan, yan yung mga kailangan na ng mga bank details na natin. Tapos yung tinatawag natin na estimated or yung gross monthly income, di ba? So baka mag-require pa sila ng annual income tax return. Diba? So hindi po ba sensitive information yan? Yes, pag di ka naman nag-submit, hindi nila ipaprocess kasi required sa kanila yon. Okay, anyway, covered naman ng bank secrecy law. Retained only for as long as necessary for the fulfillment of the purposes for which the data was obtained or for the establishment, exercise or defense of legal claims or for legitimate business purpose as provided by the law. So hindi na pwedeng nakastore na lang forever yan. Okay? So merong period na madidelete din siya. Kept in a form which permits identification of data subject for no longer than it is necessary for the purpose for which the data were collected and processed. Yan. That personal information collected for other purpose may lie processed for historical, statistical, or scientific purposes, and in all cases, laid down in law may be stored for longer period. So yung mga for statistical, no, scientific purpose, pwede po na gagamitin kasi yan, in the future, for academic studies, etc. Or pwede rin po na yung with regard to investigation ng mga cases, di ba? Ayan. The adequate safeguard are guaranteed by the said law authorizing their processing. Okay. The personal information controller must ensure implementation of personal information processing principles set out herein. So dapat, alam mo yung mga rights mo as a data subject, para hindi siya ma-violate. Now, yung principles na diniscuss natin under section 17 naman, no, general data principles, and section 18 of the law, okay, yung transparency, legitimate purpose, and proportionality. Okay? So the processing of personal data shall be allowed subject to compliance with the requirement of the Act and other laws allowing disclosure of information to the public and adherence to the principle of transparency, legitimate purpose, and proportionality. So ano po yung transparency? As discussed a while ago, the data subject must be aware of the nature, purpose, and extent of processing of his or her information or personal data. Bakit po ba kailangan na disclose ako ng information? Okay? Bakit kailangan ko mag-input ng information pertaining sa personal data ko? Okay? Siyempre may terms and conditions dyan, including the risk and safeguards involved, the identity of personal information controller, his or her rights as data subject, and how this can be exercised. No? Any information communication relating to the processing of personal data should be easy to access and understand using clear and plain language. So kagaya po sa Facebook mga kapatid and other platforms, no, social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, okay? Siyempre kapag nag-register ka, meron dong terms and condition, okay? Tapos i-disclose lahat doon yung mga policies and guidelines. So for transparency. 'Di ba? Tayo naman, di naman na natin babasahin minsan, no? Kumbaga, sige, i-click ko na lang ito, okay? And then I proceed, then may confirmation. The processing of information shall be compatible with the declared and specified purpose which must not be contrary to law, moral, or public policy. And the principle of proportionality, the processing of information shall be adequate, relevant, suitable, necessary, and not excessive. Okay, so na-discuss na natin itong mga ito class kanina. Okay? At hindi po lahat ng, again, no, let me remind you na hindi lahat ng data ay kailangan mong makuha. Okay? At ito po ay dapat in proportion doon sa legitimate purpose. Okay? Criteria for lawful processing and of personal information. The processing of personal information shall be permitted only if not otherwise prohibited by law and when at least one of the following conditions are or other conditions exist. First, meron pong consent. Ayan. The data subject gave his or her consent. Okay? And the consent can be given electronically. Pwede po. The processing of personal information is necessary and is related to fulfillment of a contract. Say for example, bibili ka nga ng plane ticket mga kapatid, contract of sale. Diba? So kailangan po siya na i-process yung information mo para ma-proceed po yung payment at para mabigyan ka naman ng tinatawag na electronic plane ticket at pwede ka nang mag-check-in, di ba? At makakuha ng boarding pass. Di ba? Sir, hindi po ba kailangan kong pumila doon sa booth or doon mismo sa office ng ticketing system na ticketing office ng Cebu Pacific or PAL? Hindi na kailangan kasi pwede na online because of e-commerce app. In relation to e-commerce app, okay, pwede na po na yung transaction, okay, yung tinatawag natin na electronic data, okay, and yung nakasulat doon is electronic data message, okay, ay lawful and valid na po yun. So yung boarding pass class, hindi mo kailangang i-print. Yeah, pwede na po na nasa cellphone mo lang yan, okay, or tablet mo. Okay, basta yung QR code nila ma-scan na nila, okay? And same with OR, official receipt, electronic na rin po. Okay? So this is again in relation to DPA, Data Privacy Act, na kailangan pong i-process yung information mo to fulfill the said contract. Okay? With the data subject or in order to take steps as request of data subject prior to entering into a contract. The processing is necessary for compliance with legal obligation to which personal information controller is subject. And processing is necessary to protect vitally important interest of the data subject including life and health. Yung mga rights, rights ng data subject. The processing is necessary in order to respond to national emergency. So kailangan pong i-process, ano po yung mga national emergency natin. Noong 2020 noong March 2020, nag-declare po ng state of public health emergency at hindi pa po nalilift yan, okay? Dahil po sa COVID. Ayan. So may mga information, 'di ba, na kailangang i-process kapag tayo naka-close border, 'di ba? Kailangan mong kumuha muna ng COVID pass. So wala kang magagawa kundi sumunod doon sa IATF guideline. Kasi may basis naman yung pagkuha nila ng personal information mo at pag-process ng personal information. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na I am exercising my right to privacy at hindi ko gagawin yung input ng information ko diyan. Syempre may guideline naman. Kung wala kang COVID pass, 'di ba? IATF issued na pass dati nung kapanahunan po nung lockdown, hindi ka pwedeng mag-travel because may basis din na constitutional right to life and liberty. Diba? Kumbaga, yung at risk naman is yung health. Yan. So, hindi po absolute ang right to privacy, mga kapatid. Meron po tayong tinatawag na exception to that. Okay? The processing is necessary for the purpose of legitimate interest pursued by the personal information controller or by third party or parties to whom the data is disclosed, except where such interests are overridden by fundamental rights and freedom of the data subject, which require protection under the Philippine Constitution. So marami po tayong constitutional rights, no, sa Bill of Rights, okay? One of which is the data, the privacy of communication and correspondence. Pero meron din pong right to life, okay? Liberty and property. Yan. So let's proceed, class, to the basic rights. So we have right to be informed, okay? Right to access the information, right to object, okay? Kumbaga, kontrahin mo, no? Ayaw mong i-process yan. Yan. Right to erasure or blocking, ipa-delete mo yung information, lalo na kung hindi mo naman inauthorize yan, di ba? The right to damages. Alam nyo naman yan, class, no? Under the civil code. Okay? Yung actual damage, moral damage, okay? Exemplary damage, okay? Temporal, okay? Etc. Liquidated damages. You have discussed that in your oblicon. And of course, sa Article 1170 of the Civil Code, it provides that damages, okay, the following are causes of damages if there is fraud, negligence, delay, or contravention of the tenor of the obligation. O kaya naman, okay, may violation nga po dito. So you can ask for damages. Okay? The right to file a complaint. So may karapatan po ang data subject na mag-file ng complaint saan or kanino. At dahil po sa DPA, Data Privacy Act, okay, na establish yung commission, yung NPC. Doon po tayo magfa-file ng complaint. Okay? The right to rectify. Pwede mo pong baguhin yung information na na-submit mo dati. Say, for example, sa SSS, GSIS, sa PhilHealth mo. Okay, sa SSS, if I'm not mistaken, meron po silang form para i-update yung information mo doon sa system. Even with the BIR, no? Meron pong BIR form to update yung mga information mo, contact number mo, lalo na, no? Doon sa system nila. So you have the right to rectify, okay? And the right to data portability. Okay, so etong mga ito, i-discuss natin isa-isa, okay? So with regard to right to be informed, ano po ang sinasabi ng DPA? Under RA 10173, your personal data is treated almost literally in the same way as your personal property. Okay? Thus, it should never be collected, processed, and stored by any organization without your explicit consent. So dapat i-inform ka muna para mabigay mo freely, voluntarily, and intelligently yung consent mo. Kasi pag tayo hindi informed doon sa pwedeng mangyari, okay, doon sa purpose nung pag-gather ng data or information, okay, hindi mo maibibigay yung consent mo freely, voluntarily, or intelligently. Okay? So you have the right to be informed. Para saan po ba itong mga pag-collect nyo ng data, okay, personal data? Unless otherwise provided by law, information controllers usually solicit your consent through consent form. Aside from protecting you against unfair means of personal data collection, this right also requires the information or personal information controller to notify you, okay, if your data have been compromised in a timely manner. Example po, mga kapatid, no? When I used my credit card, no, way back mga 2016 siguro yun, or 17, to purchase ticket, no, sa Philippine Airlines, PAL. Okay? So since continuous yung pag-transact at meron pong nagkamali ako ng input, no? Ang ginawa nila, blinak nila yung ginawa ng BPI, no? Blinak ng BPI yung credit card ko. And dinotify ako through text na merong suspicious transaction. Okay? Na kumbaga ay as a preventive action, yan, blinak nila yung card para hindi mag-proceed. Okay? Fortunately, ako naman talaga yung nag-purchase, di ba? So, one of the duties ng controller is to notify, di ba? Notify the data subject, okay, kung merong compromised na yung information. Baka daw kasi may nakakuha na ng information ko pertaining do sa card. And kaya blinak na nila. So that is a good thing at yan po ay preventive action ng BPI as the controller ng information ko sa card. Yan. Okay? As a data subject, you have the right to be informed that your personal data will be, are being, or were collected and processed. So kung ikaw po ay mag-a-apply, okay, as I have mentioned a while ago, ng loan, okay, o kaya naman kung ikaw po ay magpapa-check up, okay, sa clinic or sa hospital, okay, may mga information po na tatanungin sa inyo, okay, tungkol sa health status mo. And syempre, you have the right to be informed kung para saan po yung mga information na yan. Okay? The right to be informed is most basic right as to it empowers you as a data subject to consider other actions to protect your data privacy and assert your other privacy rights. If, for example, mga kapatid, kung hindi ka well-informed, hindi mo maibibigay ang consent mo freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Sabi ko kanina. Okay, so you have the right to be informed. Kaya huwag pong matakot magtanong. Yeah? Huwag matakot magtanong kung para saan po ba ito? Bakit kailangan po ng information po ng mga ganito? Yan. Huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Yan. Right, Med, no? I'm not promoting yung ano, ha? And example lang po yun. So example of right to be informed, a medical doctor, no, in private hospital in Manila recorded a conversation. So ni-record po niya, no? Okay? With his lady patient without the patient's knowledge and prior consent. Hindi po ba, mga kapatid, kapag tayo tinatawagan ng Globe, Smart, or other telcos, no, yung Ditotel, okay, sasabihin sa atin na, sir, by the way po, this conversation is recorded, okay, para daw ma-maintain yung quality ng information, etc., etc. Actually, okay, ini-inform na tayo because we have the right to be informed. At itong information na ito, okay, hindi nila pwede,